Hi, today is Thursday the 28th of March 2025 and I am in the amazing sunny country of Ghana in Africa. I literally landed on Sunday night, and so literally my first day officially was Monday the 24th, and it's my second time in Ghana. I was here a couple of weeks ago, fell in love with it, and now I'm back. I thought I'd come here and literally see whether or not I could mix what I'm doing in the UK here in Africa, and so far so good. I've had several meetings every single day for the past 4 days. Today I'm hoping that something gets sorted out, but I need one more form. But for fuck's sake, the whole department's on strike. The whole department's on strike, so I can't get the form here in Africa. But you know, I know a friend that knows a friend that knows a friend. So something is being sorted out in the background. Fingers crossed anyway, you know, that's Ghana for you, isn't it? You know. So yeah, so if that comes through, oh my god, I literally just seen the biggest bug on the curtain. But if that comes through, it'd be really, really good. And then today I have an optician's appointment. Imagine, I had to get, I know that my eyes are bad anyway, because I flipping had to buy myself glasses because I literally couldn't see flipping shit. Every time I looked at the screen, my eyes got blurry. I was like, what's going on? I went to the opticians, and the opticians are like, yeah, your eyes are deteriorating. You need glasses. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean my eyes obviously deteriorating? I've always had perfect 20/20 vision. They're like, yeah, you're getting old. I was like, fuck it, I don't feel it. I definitely don't feel it, but it's true. Fucking 45 this year. You know what I mean? Blood clot. Yeah, so I guess that's what's going on. So anyway, I've been to the optician here in Ghana because you have to take an eye test before you can get a driving license. It makes flipping sense. They need to implement that in England because the amount of people driving and blind, it's not funny, it's scary when you can't see, especially at nighttime driving. So I think it's a good thing. They need to implement that in the UK. Their opticians are attached to DVLA centres, you know, through biometric and all kinds of different assessment things online. It's very, very high tech. It's much more sophisticated than in the UK. You know what I mean? You don't even have to, it's not compulsory to have an eye test at all. Anyway, he says to me, because I was thinking, I wonder if he's going to pick up on my dodgy eyesight. We'll see what type of optician he is. And then when he did it, he marked up some papers. I said, everything all right with my eyes? He said, listen, your eyes are fine enough for you to pass the DVLA regulations, but there are 1 or 2 discrepancies. But if you step outside, one of my co-workers will help you. So when I stepped outside, the co-worker read the document and was like, yeah, you need a little bit of treatment. It's not invasive, it's just something quick. So I don't actually know what they're going to do. So when I get there at 10 o'clock, I will be finding out what they intend to do before I do it, and also the cost of it, because you know, obviously we get free healthcare in the UK. Well, it's not free, we pay for it through our taxes. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely not free, but we have paid healthcare through our taxes, so I can just call my GP or the optician and get it sorted. So that's going to be the variation. What is the treatment and what is the cost and what are the side effects? You know, Jesus Christ, I don't want nothing to happen to my eyes, but at the same time there is something going on. I can feel it. I thought it was stress before because it was just this tension in the back of my eyes, and because I'm reading documents every single day. Every single day I'm at the computer, every single day I'm on the phone. I just thought it was a combination of those things, but I really can feel tension in the back of my eyes. So he says to me, basically it's like being at risk of developing glaucoma afterwards. I'm not sure what it's called in its initial stage, but it has the potential to lead on to glaucoma. So yeah, I definitely want to get that sorted, whether I'm in the UK or Ghana, because that is definitely compulsory. And then after that appointment, I'm hoping that we can spend some time at an internet cafe or something like that, because I really want to start getting online and doing my marketing for the next 6 weeks. Plus I want to send out some emails about the meetings and stuff that I've had this week. And plus there's some things back in the UK that I need to sort out. So that is my plan for today. I thought I'd keep a video diary as to what it is that I'm up to while I'm doing it. I just want to record God's plan. I want to record what God is doing in my life and all the amazing things that He's telling me to kind of go on to. Let me take these glasses off now. So yeah, as soon as I know what the next step is, I'll jump back on and literally do the video and forward. But it would be amazing just to kind of be able to record the journey from day one until the end. So if I go into it a little bit more deeper then, so on Monday we did absolutely so much. We went and visited a school called the Soul Clinic International School. We just literally rolled up on them. I had sent them emails from the UK, but I hadn't had a response, so we just rolled up on them. They were very, very accommodating. Met with the founder. Yesterday, I think I recorded and said that they were founded in 1976, but they weren't. They were actually founded in 1968 because I went back there yesterday and spoke to them. Spoke to the whole team. It was absolutely amazing. They've got 5 members of staff in their ICT department, and they've got at least 20 computers in their ICT classroom. So they already have the infrastructure and the manpower to really push this forward. And it wasn't until yesterday, which was Wednesday, somebody commented on, because the person helping out to get the form, the last form that I need, so I can register a bank account here in Ghana, she says to us, like the project that we're doing, the business that we're doing sounds amazing, but the school that we're working with, Soul Clinic, their school fees are so expensive. They don't need the laptops. Can you come and bring the laptops to our school? So on the flip side, it was really nice to hear how respectable Soul Clinic is in the community. I mean, it was founded in 1968 anyhow, so it clearly has long-standing roots, but it's a private education provision as opposed to a state one. And apparently it's one of the more expensive ones too, which probably, well not probably, it does explain why they're able to kind of support 5 members of staff in their ITC department, you know. But I love private school education. I'm a former private school head teacher, so I understand the ins and outs. So when I'm talking to them, you know, we're on a level, because I know the complexities and the difficulties of running a private school. I know the difficulties of setting up a private school. You know, I've set up and started a private school myself, and also had to staff it, find the resources. There's no necessarily government funding in those kind of things, so you literally have to kind of be on your grind. I mean, luckily in the UK, the government does fund private education, and particularly when there's special education needs and stuff like that. So some supplement does come from the government, but a lot of the time as the head teacher, you've got to be on your grind, you know. So when they're talking to me about their grind, I'm nodding, and I can confirm that I really do understand. And then the second school that I visited on Tuesday, which I can't even pronounce the school. I don't even know how I'm going to go about this, but I'm going to have to practice. But just call it Wakanda for now, because it begins with a W and it must have about 23 letters. So this school Wakanda, which is quite a distance away from where we are. But when I say quite a distance, it's an hour and something from where I am now. And where I am now is in Accra. So it's actually not even in the region of Accra, it's just outside of the region of Accra. So that's a little bit kind of like in terms of getting there and back, but I'm not going to worry about it, because it's while we were driving down there, they were building a highway, a massive motorway highway. So before we know it, there'll be a nice smooth road directly down there, literally to drop us straight to the school gates. What was really nice is that my son Samuel, his cousin works at the school, and she's quite high up in her position. So that's how we kind of got the entrance into this government state school, because the government state schools are run completely different. They don't have autonomy, they don't get to choose their curriculum, they don't get to kind of have random investment opportunities when they wish to. Everything has to go through the government here in Ghana. So when I met with the head teacher, who was absolutely phenomenal, you know, you could tell he was a man about himself anyhow. And then later on, it transpired that he's actually a community counsellor. So he literally communicates with many of the government officials as well as the tribal officials. And that's the thing with Africa, it's mixed UK government parliament structures with old traditional African tribe leader structures that also consist of queen mothers, chief deputies and everything. And the politicians have to, they have to work with these community leaders. So these community leaders almost sit like a second layer of a of perhaps, I guess they're like MPs, the chiefs are. Do you know what I mean? So the politicians are within the politician arena, and you could consider the chiefs more like the MPs, meaning that if the chiefs come together, just like the MPs, if they come together, they can block something that the Prime Minister is trying to do. And I think that's quite similar here in Ghana. If the chiefs come together and don't like something, they can block or at least push against the decisions made by their government here in Ghana. But I haven't fully investigated the whole political system in Ghana. UK, I know, I'm very familiar. I studied social policy as a degree, and I also done local governance management as a master's. And I also, like, when it comes to politics, I've been in there like swimwear. I should be the Prime Minister by now, but I got sidetracked into education. But that was my mission when I went to uni, was to literally become Prime Minister. So yeah, I'm very passionate about politics. So looking forward to kind of understand a little bit more about the Ghanaian politics structure, and dig a little bit deeper into perhaps some of its historical history. Some of it I do know because I was able to go to Kwame's museum, which is Ghana's first Prime Minister, who wasn't actually born in Ghana. He was actually born in the USA, but because he done so much for the Pan-African movement, they awarded him citizenship here in Ghana, and he later went on to become Ghana's first president. He did so much, to be fair, this Kwame, he really did. On a disappointing note though, I did later discover that he is a Freemason, or he was a Freemason because he's passed away now. And I think when I look at the members in political powers with Freemason association, for some reason I think it takes away the credibility for me. It takes away the credibility because what I understand of the Freemason society, forget all the rituals and the devil worship and whatever, but just on a very, very mundane, basic level, it's a brotherhood. It's a brotherhood and it's a sisterhood. The brotherhood are your Masons, the sisterhood are your, what they're called, Eastern Stars. So therefore, if you're in a sorority or some type of brotherhood, sisterhood, the idea is that you help your brother out or you help your sister out. So therefore, when you're climbing up your ladders and you're part of these groups, the idea is that if you get to a position and someone's there that you know, they're supposed to be there to give you a Lego, which in one respect, rightly so, perhaps. But what that means is that they haven't always got there based on, you know, the credibility, based on their qualifications, based on their experience, based on the know-how. It's like Kamala Harrison for president. You know, how did she get there? When you look at her history, and I mean, you don't have to take my word with it, Candice Owens has done a fantastic job breaking it down. It just seems like she basically slept with the right people, you know. Obviously, she does have a law degree, and it is said that she was a very good lawyer in practice, but I haven't seen that personally. And I watched the whole of last year's political campaign that she was in, and they call it word salads. You know, this says that she's the master chef at word salads. And one of the things about being a lawyer, you can't be someone that gives word salads. You have to be somebody that's precise. You have to give factual information. You have to reference legislation and regulations and several acts. You have to have a really, really good memory. You know what I mean? And you have to be confident. Yeah, and you have to speak with, well, not have to, but the requirement of the job is that you speak with authority. And none of her campaign, and even prior to that, even when Biden was in position, none of that kind of came across to me. I didn't think that she articulated herself very well, and I don't think she managed herself in debates either. I don't think she pulled it out the bag. There was certain things that she said, and it had almost like a rehearsed theme to it. In fact, they killed it, didn't they? Because they just kept showing about 16 different clips of her saying the same sentence. So yeah, on that note, I don't think it's for everybody. But this man, the head teacher of this school that I'm naming Wakanda, it's not called Wakanda, but something with W, he is in the perfect position because he's got one foot in traditional culture in terms of the relationship he has with the chief and the community, and then on the other side he's got the government advantage to make a difference. So he was able to say to me that, you know, that his voice is well respected, and therefore the proposal that I'm putting together, he's going to forward on to the Department of Education here in Ghana to get authorization for him to be able to accept my offer. But in principle, he has already accepted the offer because it's something that he wants for his school. But at the same time, we've still got to go through the proper channels and make sure that we present our proposal to the Ghanaian Department of Education. So what we've done, we've agreed that his IT man, Justin, will email me and I will understand how they already implement ITC. And at the moment, what they do, they have literally one laptop in the whole school. Some of the classes have more than 100 children in there. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've got it on video. So we have over 100 children in a class. He literally does 20 students at a time in a session, and 20 students will sit around one laptop while he demonstrates how to use the laptop and all of its functions and other IT software systems that have been downloaded on the laptop. And you're thinking, my God. And all the kids are interested. They're literally leaning in. Every class that I went in, I've never seen so many tables in the class. And the classes aren't big at all. They're not big at all. They're not even the standard UK size classes, but all those kids are in there. And it's hot too, remember. Even the head teacher says to me, some days you can't go in there, you'd pass out. And I said, have it, because they've got all this land around them. I was saying to them, can't you just get one of those, you know, the shipment crane things, and you can just redo it out, put some plasterboards up, deck it out, put some tiles down, put some tables and chairs. And he said, because they're government based, because they're a state school, you can't just do something like that. You have to get proper planning permission, you have to get building permission, and the structure has to be solid. So yeah, so they can't grow as a school, even though the community population around them is growing because of some of these restrictions. So it was interesting. It's the same that would happen in a UK school. You can't just go putting up buildings and stuff like that without planning permission. But what we do tend to do in the UK is that if there's no space in school, we will build outhouses. You know, we will use storage containers and build classrooms and stuff like that. So it's just a quicker way of getting a lot more space. I mean, quite luckily out here, they have the weather. So you can actually just build a little marquee outside and put tables and chairs underneath it. But we'll see as time goes by, because there's a lot of potential there. Obviously, because it's a state school, we won't have as much autonomy to be able to implement additional things at random without having to go back and change or amend our proposal. But one of the benefits of doing this proposal to the State Department of Education is that they get to see what I'm offering, and they get to see whether or not, well, not whether or not, they get to see the potential of it, and then whether or not they want to roll that out and give that opportunity to other schools in Ghana. And if that was the case, that would be amazing. I mean, even if Ghana could help support some of the funding, because at the moment I'm literally funding it myself. So I want to make sure that, and yesterday I went and met another organisation which is just across the road there. If I just quickly show you. It's called DAF, the Diaspora African Forum, Youth Empowerment Training Centre. So when I spoke to them yesterday, just literally coincidentally, when I pulled up, their executive director was there. His name's Mr. Kevin Williams. Very nice car, I must say. A very lovely gentleman too. Very, very tall and very American. So very, very in your face. So he was like, nah, man, I gotta get out of this car, man. I gotta get out of this car and say hello to you like properly. You know, that American, whatever accent. So he jumps out the car and he's like this big. Like an absolute BFG, like a big friendly giant. So he's talking to us and what brings you to Africa, and I'm telling him and I'm saying to him that I see that you work with the youth in Ghana. I would really, really like to sponsor 2 to 4 young volunteers in a teaching qualification, a teaching assistant qualification, so that I can use those volunteers to go into the schools here in Ghana that I'm working with to provide additional support for the schools, because they're already at capacity with staff. And I want to make sure that my project works, and I want to make sure that progress is obviously recorded. So in order to do that, I'm thinking I'm going to have to, you know, hopefully find some people to go in there. And if I can get the youth of Ghana supporting the younger youth of Ghana, that would just be cherry on the top for me, honestly. So when I spoke to him, he was like, they provide majority of the training free of charge to people in Ghana. He said, you should see our setup. We got places in Dubai, we got places in the UK, we got places in America, we got places here. He said, you know what? We don't even take people this side, but come, I'll give you a sneak peek. So he practically snuck us inside, but he didn't, because obviously he's the executive of the company. So there's no sneaking with him. He has the right to do that. And he took us in there, and the infrastructure that they have built in there, it is crazy. It's like a call center downstairs. The people that he trains for free, he then employs them. He said, my staff work for global companies. They're a call center for global companies all around the world in that little building there. You know, and it was like, you know, we're with AWS and whatever. And I said, AWS? I said, I'm with AWS. Well, they want me on board for me to use the cloud space, but at the same time, they really, really like my project, and they're discussing potentially, well, funding it, which it would be absolutely fucking amazing, you know. And then my friend Jin, he's well in there like swimwear. I'm like, Jin, don't let me, listen, if you keep promising with these things, mate, and I'm telling you, if you don't deliver, your name's not Jin anymore, it's gonna be fucking Jim. So he's bursting out laughing, and you know, he said, listen, Asherah, for you I'd do anything, you know what I mean? So hopefully, fingers crossed, he does what he said he's gonna do, and if he does, then happy days. We got some things going on. Yeah, so I'm really, really excited about that. I'm excited about the schools. I think we've picked 2 good ones, and out of 25 schools, in fact probably a bit more than 25, because the Wakanda school wasn't on my list of 25, to be fair. So there was probably about 3 additional schools that my son Sam had contacted, and then the 5 emails, but at 25. But out of those 25 emails that I sent out, at least 15 of them bounced back. So really, probably 10 emails reached the school, and then out of the 10 emails that reached the school, only 1 of those schools have emailed back with an acknowledgement receipt. But like I said, Soul Clinic was one of those schools that I emailed, and Soul School Clinic is one of the schools that I've now got on board. So it just goes to show, just because you send an email doesn't mean that they're not interested. And I think that's my approach in England. I've always been sending emails, and I think I just need to get off my butt and go knock some doors and literally speak to them about what it is that I'm trying to do, because what I'm trying to do is God's plan, and God don't play about his plan. He knows what he's doing, he knows what he wants, and I know that he's going to make it everything that he's telling me that he's going to make it. And all my job is to implement what he's telling me to do. So that's all I'm doing. And if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it doesn't, it's God's plan, and if it does, it's God's plan. I'm not taking it personal. He says to me, just enjoy the ride. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trust the process, and I'm going to enjoy the ride and just have fun. So yeah, today I'm gonna take it easy. Yesterday, after everything that we did, we went to the beach. I got to put my feet in the sand. I got to put my feet in the sun. I got to ride a quad bike while Sam and the guy was at the back crying about how fast I'm going. It weren't even going fast. I was frustrated with how slow it was. You're supposed to at least feel a bounce. I didn't feel no bounce when I was driving. And then also I got to ride a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful white horse. It's not even white, it's albino. So it's almost like a white cream. It's different, you know, albino's different, isn't it? And her name was Starlight, and she was so beautiful. She was rubbing her head into me, and I literally put my forehead on her forehead. I just thought that was such a beautiful interaction. I love horses. So yeah, I got to ride the horse up and down the beach. I had cocktails. I had one of the nicest salads I've had, including within the UK. You know, it had your typical salad, as in lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumbers. But then it had prawns in there. It had calamari. It had oranges. It had some other stuff in there. It had some type of dressing. It had like, I don't know if they were crisp onions, fried courgette. I don't even know what they were, but it tastes good. Yeah, so eating right, living right, thinking right, acting right, it's right. Everything just feels right. Everything feels up. So I just want to literally just continue as we mean to go on, and just keep smashing it. This weekend, obviously it's Friday today. I've told my son Sam he needs to find somewhere for us to go out because I need to have a little jiggle in a wiggle while I'm in Ghana, just to let my hair down a little bit. So I'm looking forward to doing something exciting this weekend. Hint, hint. And then next week I'm looking to travel to some of the rural areas to discover a little bit more spiritual, the spiritual side of things. So the last time I was here, I did spiritual first, and then on the second week I did business, and there wasn't enough time to get all my business done that I wanted to do. So this time I said, all right, I'll do business the first week and then spiritual the second week. And then if it transpires that I need to stop a little bit longer, then I'll stop a little bit longer. If some of the business things crosses over into the second week, because like I said, the department's on strike, which means that I've got to, there's nothing I can do but wait. The kids are fine in the UK. They're absolutely wonderful. So yeah, it's just me that I need to look after. Can you imagine? I'm a mum of 5. I've never ever had to just look after myself. I left home at 15 and a half. I moved in with my boyfriend. I was looking after him. 17, I was pregnant. 18, I had a picnic. So from 18, even before 18, I've always looked after other people. And now, in my life, in my 40s, I finally get the opportunity to just look after myself. It was so weird at first, but now I absolutely love it. I don't want to chat to nobody. My son says to me yesterday, my son in Ghana, he says to me, Mom, how come nobody rings your phone? I said, you are? He said, you know, you came last time to Ghana, I was with you for the whole week. And now this time I'm with you for a week and a second week. And I've not heard your phone, other than business phone calls and the kids. I don't hear you talk to nobody. I said, what do you mean? I told you from day one that I don't chat to people. I don't chat to people, man. Everyone's up as far as I'm concerned. And even when they're not up, even when I meet them and they're not up, it's like the Matrix. You know how Mr. Smith can download into any fucker. I often find those experiences that even when I meet them and I've assessed them and they're not a demon, warlock or whatever, sooner or later the energy gets transpired in them. And I know how it happens. I believe I know how it happens because I've seen it happen a few times, and I've really kind of gone in under observation. And what happens is people meet me and it sounds like a chat shit because I do this and I do that, and they're like, yeah, and then they actually spend time around me and they realize, fucking hell, it's true. She does do that and she does do this and she is that and she is that. I am who I say I am. So because I am who I say I am, what that then starts to do is they start to compare themselves with who I am. Why are you comparing yourself with who I am? Why do you feel that you need to keep up with me? I'm me and you're you. Don't be in a competition with me. Be in a competition with yourself, because I'm in a competition with myself. I'm not competing against anybody. So for you to try and compete against me, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, because you can never be me, and I would never want to be you. But for some reason, they don't think like that. So what happens is, when they start to compare themselves because of their own inner insecurities, because they haven't done their inner healing, they haven't done the work, so now it's breeding insecurities, because it just seems like my life is popping off. Everything I ask for, I get. Everything I'm doing, I'm get. It's God's plan, so it's not my plan. I'm talking to God, He's talking to me. He's saying, I need you to do this. Yes, sir, no problem. I get it done. So it looks like I'm winning, but it's just obedience. So when they see the winning, instead of looking at the obedience, they're just looking at the outcome. And when they look at the outcome, that tends to breed insecurities. And the minute you start to breed insecurities, your thought process changes. You're now having thought processes that bring in negative energy, because you're thinking negative. And as you start to think more and more negative, you start to lower your frequency. And when you lower your frequency, you make yourself accessible to demonic beings that fuck with those kind of frequencies. And once you're on a frequency that the demonic beings can get you, the demonic beings start to fucking talk to you. They start to fuel the jealousy. They start to increase your emotional feelings around how you feel about the situation. They start to bring up all that bullshit inside of you that you haven't healed. And before you know it, you're on a spiral. Before you know it, you hate me, and you don't even know why you hate me. I tell you why you hate me. You hate me because you hate the God in me. Them demons are riding at your backside. So that's usually what happens. So because I ain't got no time for nothing like that, I need people that around me that know God. So you must know that there's a lot of people that don't know God, because I don't have nobody around me. Yeah. I need to see the God in you. Yeah. I need to see God working in your life. I need to hear God's testimonies in your life. Otherwise, I don't fuck with you. Yeah, and if I do fuck with you, I fuck with you at a distance, even though I'm smiling in your face. Yeah, because I ain't got no time for it now. I'm not obliged to put up with anybody's nonsense. I'm not obliged to put up with anybody's rubbish. I don't like people anyway. You know what I mean? I never have, because I know that the energy is fake. And when I say I don't like people, most of the people that have been around me my whole life, including family, in fact, especially family, your bad energy, and your body full of demons. It just don't cut it for me, and it never did. And them things was running, them things I was aware of from younger than 9, 8 years of age. With certain families members that I locked off from 8, 9 years of age, I said, you can't chat to me, and I will never chat to you, aka my mother's sister, my mother's youngest sister. Me stop chat to she from I was blood clot 9 years of age, man. I saw the devil in that woman, and she's still a flipping demon today. And in my whole life, I've probably been in her yard once, and that was when my uncle passed away. I don't fuck with certain people. I do not fuck with certain people, and I don't mince my words either. I don't feel no way to tell you I don't fuck with you because you're a demon. I talk my truth, and I stand up on it. And whether you're my mum or my dad, I chat my truth. And whether you're my nan or my granddad, I chat my truth. I chat my truth. Trust me. Trust me. I chat what I see. I chat what I see, and I chat what I feel, and I chat what I know. When I was younger, I used to get nothing but boxed in my mouth. Yeah? Box me in my mouth. Box me in my mouth. Do you understand me? Box me in my mouth and let me know I'm chatting the truth. Because you're only going to box me for the truth. You're not going to box me for a lie. You're going to box me for a truth. Because you're embarrassed. Because you really should not be doing what I'm telling you you're doing. And you think you're doing what you're doing in secret. But I'm a high priestess. I was born a high priestess. I see your business. All of what you not tell me, me know. You know what I mean? And all of what me nothing know. Me know. To my own detriment. Trust me, to my own detriment. Because I don't even want to fucking know. I don't want to know your business. I can already look at you and know, say you shit. You understand me? The Almighty don't have to give me the evidence to know that. But He does. It does. And they don't like it when I give it back to them, when they're going on with themselves, and I call them out. They don't like it. The devil never wants to be called out. But my mom always said from a child, taught the truth, and shamed the devil. Because that's what the truth does. The truth shames the devil. A lie shames God. I don't shame God. You understand where I'm coming from? I stand in truth. And the truth to me is 228. That's the number of the truth for me, 228. So yeah. So in terms of people around me, no. And I don't want nobody around me either. I fell in love with myself. I absolutely love myself. I love myself more than I ever thought possible. I love myself like I love my firstborn child. You know that love, like mums, you have your firstborn child and you're like, oh my God, I made this human. My body did this. This is a little carbon copy of me. This belongs to me. Almighty, is this my gift? It's that feeling. That's how I feel about myself. Oh my God, I made this. Yeah, I did. I've worked really hard to be the person I am today. And I'm in love with the person I am today. I'm very, very happy and excited about the person I am today because it hasn't been easy to become the person I am today. I've had to go through a lot of transformation. I've had to go through a lot of deaths. And I've had to go through a lot of ascensions. And I've had to leave people along the way. The almighty, it's not me even leaving family because I chose to, because to be honest, if it was up to me, I probably still would have been around those demons because it's not a big deal to me. If you've been around people your whole life, it's not a big deal to continue to be around them. You just learn how to maneuver. Duppy knows who to frighten. You know who to say what to, who not to say what to, who to fuck with, who not to fuck with, who yard to go to, whose yard not to go to, who to open your door to and who not to open your door to. You learn those things. But the Almighty was like, no, I don't even want you associating with these people. They don't mean you no good. And the more I pour into you, the more it fuels their insecurities and jealousy and envy. So it don't make sense. You might as well just go and fly and go and do your business. Because my whole life, what it's felt like to me is that I've been trying to fly with these bags, carrying all the people in my life with me. Because in truth, I didn't want to leave nobody behind. In truth, my motto was there's enough food around the table for everybody to eat, so let's eat. But they don't see it like that. Nobody wants to plant no corn. Everybody just wants to raid the barn. Nah, I'm tired of others yamming off my back. I'm tired of you guys harvesting my energy. I'm very, very, very tired. In fact, I'm not just tired, I'm over it. Them things can't go on no more. I've learned to spiritually shut my energy off. I've learned to mentally forget those people. I've learned to emotionally disconnect from those people. Love don't live here anymore. Love don't live here no more, babe. I can say that I love you from a distance because you are a human being and I love you as a human. But in terms of all that emotional connection linked to love that we get through family members, we get through nostalgia, we get from memories, we get from experiences. No, I've literally had to go through all of that and detox of it until even on a cellular level, I don't have no attachment to these people. I don't have no attachment to these people. And it took a long time because all I did was love these people, man. Love them. Love them. So yeah, it broke my heart. It really did break my heart. But at the same time, I had to face the truth. Asherah, these people don't like you. You love them, but they don't like you. So what you gonna do? Can you continue to love somebody that don't like you? You cannot love somebody that does not like you. Okay, even if you want to love them, you cannot put yourself at risk constantly. You cannot constantly be self-sacrificing yourself for the sake of people. Fuck people. Yeah, fuck people. You know? And when I say fuck people, I mean those kind of people that are in their shadow side. I used to think it was my responsibility to save them. But I'm not that Captain Saberhole. I'm not that girl anymore. I'm not that bitch. But about now, if I see you drowning in the water, I gotta carry on stepping, blood. I gotta get to where I've got to get. You know what I mean? Because you could be a trick. You could be there and you can swim, but you're acting like you can't swim. and you want me to come in the water to come save you, for you to pull down on me and save yourself. Fuck that. Them are the risk I was taking in my life. Just because I was a good swimmer. But I'm not taking those risks no more. I'm not getting in the water. If I can't meet you and you've got your boat and I've got my boat, see you later. I'm only dealing with people that are in their own boat. Can you save yourself? And if you can't save yourself, see you later, man. See you later. Because it's not my responsibility. Your death is not my responsibility. Your death is not on my hands. Just because you're in the water drowning, I am not accountable for that person in the water drowning. I am not responsible for that person in the thinking. God is responsible for that person drowning. And that person is responsible for them drowning. Because that person should have thought about the decisions that they made that led them to be in that water without a boat in the first place. That is not my responsibility. And that's where I was going wrong. I'm thinking it's my responsibility to sort out with the person in the boat. No, it's not. No, it's not. I thought it was my responsibility to help out my mum and her situation. And I realised, no, it's not. Oh, my dad, you guys live your life drinking and partying. That's what you do. You live your life drinking and partying and sitting down on government benefits, and you're almost 70. So are you telling me that you have lived the last 30 years not planning, not putting nothing together, not saving no pennies, not working hard, but drinking, partying and fucking, and then it's my responsibility to come look after Honor in old age, and you don't have 2 pence to rub together, and you don't own your yard? No. No. I've watched you guys. I used to sit there and worry, my God, I've got 2 parents that don't own nothing. I got 2 parents that don't have nothing. How am I working out this now? How am I going to save for their future and put down for my future and my kids? These are the concerns that used to worry in my head. I used to actually literally sit down and ponder over these things, lose sleep over these things. You're not my responsibility, mum and dad. You're definitely not my responsibility, because you've never been a mum and dad. You've never been a mum and dad. You understand where I'm coming from? You've never been a mum and dad. You've never sat down and looked at me that way. You've never thought about my future. You've never put down no coin and thought, you know what, let me put down this little money so when Asherah reaches a certain age, she can buy a car, she can buy a yard, she can pay for a college course. Nothing. You never put down in my life. You never poured into me. You never invested in me in that way. So what a blood clot me I think about you in that way, and you piss me out. I know me piss you out. You piss me out. That's what I'm saying. I have to think about these things logically. What is my responsibility and what is not my responsibility? Because that's where I've been going wrong. I've been taking on responsibility like, say, it's mine and it's not. I am responsible for myself. I'm not even responsible for my pity them. On a level, I'm not responsible for them. I'm here to facilitate their guidance on earth until they are at an age of maturity, not even age, until they are at a level of maturity that they can stand independently on themselves and do their thing. And that's my job, to facilitate them. The Almighty told me they come through you, they don't come from you. My children did not come from me, they came through me. I am just a vessel. I am just used as a vessel for the Almighty to bring who He wants to bring through. And the Almighty is responsible for my children. And it's took me a long time to get to that realization, because trust me, you couldn't tell me that my children weren't mine. They were always mine. They were always gifts from the divine, but they were always mine. And I've self-sacrificed, and the Almighty's like, that's not what it's about. He had to literally take my children from me for me to learn that they do not belong to me. And it ripped my heart out. But He showed me, and He showed me, and He showed me, listen, Asherah, they are not yours, they are mine. Let them go. I have a job for you. I need you to come this way. Are you willing to come this way, or are you going to sit down in something that don't belong to you? And I had to really, really work on it. On a mental level, emotional, spiritual level, I had to learn to let go of my children. My children live in the house, don't get me wrong. They get fed, they get watered, they have what they want. They're fucking spoiled. But they are not mine, and that's the difference. I am not obligated or obliged. I do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it. I don't have to look after them. You know, it makes you feel like you're a parent. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. No, I don't. The truth is, no parent has to. The truth is, any parent at any time can get up and walk away. And that's the truth. We choose to stay. We choose to do the job, because enough parents don't choose to do it. Enough parents walk away and don't do it. It's not compulsory. It's not mandatory. Nobody said you have to have a pitney and look after that pitney full term. And that is a truth. That is a truth. There's enough animals in the animal kingdom that give birth and go about their business. Them, you know, turtles for one. Turtle lays the eggs. She covers them with sand. She's off, mate. When them little turtles hatch, they're on their own, mate. They're gonna make it from the sand to the sea without getting eaten by some seagull or some type of bird. They're on their own. Survival of the fittest. That's the reality. And like I said, I'm here to support. I'm here to facilitate. So it's not about my children or any otherbody's children being left to do it for themselves. But it's about not doing it for them. Not doing it for them, just allowing them to go through their own journey. So now I just facilitate and just watch. I watch my children. I see what they're doing. I provide advice when I need to, and I push back when I need to. My daughter texted me this week with, you know, Mummy, shall I spend £20 on patties? And I'm like, Summer, why are you phoning me in Africa to ask me if you should spend £20 on patties? I'm just saying, I know it's my money that you gave me, but I don't know if I should. I said, Summer, but before I left, you did £60 worth of shopping just for yourself. Why do you need patties? And if you do want patties, why do you have to get £20 of patties? But more importantly, why are you asking my brain about the patties? She's like, God, because I don't know what to do. But I'm like, no, Summer, you come to me and you want to use my brain power on something as silly as whether or not if you should buy patties. This is what I'm trying to get you to do. I'm trying to get you to use your own brain. Do you think you should buy the patties? And if so, why? And if you don't think you should buy the patties, then why not too? I said, it's your money, it's your brain. You need to understand, do I need the patties, or am I just being glutton if I've got £60 worth of shopping? Or should I name the £60 worth of shopping first and then go look about patty? You know what I mean? Anyway, it sounds so silly saying it out loud, but I just feel like it's important for her to use her own mind to rationale what she should do. You have to be able to consult yourself and come up with things, the solution with yourself and the Almighty. You know, when we go around asking people, telling them they're our business and be like, oh, what do you think I should do? You're giving the enemy an opportunity to take you down the wrong road. Nobody should be finalizing your decisions for you. You shouldn't be taking decisions to anybody apart from the Almighty. Go and ask God if you should spend the £20, because God knows whether or not you're going to need that £20 in the future. I've given her a set amount of money while I'm in Africa. She's not asking me about the patties. She's just trying to get permission of me to spend money unnecessary, because she's a spendaholic. She loves to spend money. She don't need the fucking patties. You know what I mean? So what she wants to do is come in, act like there's some type of emergency, that she's in this dilemma and doesn't know what to do. So I just flick it back on her. You're not going to harvest my energy like that, little girl. Pitney or no pitney. Yeah, I'm not going to spend any time on that. And that's how meticulous I am with my energy now. You're not even on that level, you're not getting me. You're not getting my energy to move in motion. Never mind big levels. I'm not wasting a drop. I'm not wasting a drop of my energy. I'm not wasting a second of my time pondering on something that ain't got no business to do with me. All of my attention, all of my time, 100% spent on God's plan. What is it you want me to do this morning? Is that what you want me to do? No problem, sir. Consider it done. I'm on mission. My soul is not my own. My life is not my own at all. And I'm more than content with that, because I know when I think that I run things and I'm running my life, I run it into the ground, blood. I run it into a war, man. You know what I'm saying? I run it into a war. So guess what? It don't make sense me think that I'm in the driver's seat, because I'm not. And I don't want to be. I'm a backseat driver. I'm not even a passenger driver now. Even in Ghana, I sat at the back of the car as a backseat driver. Where are you taking me, Sam? You know what I mean? God's plan. Don't say nothing. I have no idea where I'm going. We're going 4.5 hours in that direction. Okay, no problem. Say no more. I will sit my ass down in the back of the car and wait. I'll be patient until we reach there without even knowing where we're going. And that's because it's God in the driver's seat. It's God in the driver's seat, literally. So on that note, I'm going to say bye because the sun is finally up. It must be 6:30 in the morning, probably about that time now. So I'm going to get some bits and bobs sorted out, and I will check in with you tomorrow. Love and light.